It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 134. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. A great day for a podcast about video games and more, and that's what I'm here to do. So I hope you're doing great out there in the world. Wherever and whenever you're listening to this, thank you so much for being here. The first order of business, however, is to ask you to follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. So find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. YouTube is also a great place to watch me play some games live or come check out the videos later. One of the best places to follow me, I would say. And then if you would also like to support the show even further than just listening, Patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show is available if you'd like to subscribe monthly. Also, Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support this show. And this show today is going to have 3 sections as always. The first section, I'll tell you about what video games I've been playing since I last talked to you on this microphone. The mid section is not mid in quality, but I'll tell you what is going on around the video game world that you need to know. And the third and final section, the Miscellaneous Talk section, is where I can talk about anything I want to outside of the video game world. So it's just going to be a quick update in that section today on my favorite sports teams, as always. So that's the plan for the show today, and this one's going to be a little bit quicker. I'm recording early today on a Sunday. I'm going to play some golf today, so it's going to be fun. I'm going to be out there in the heat, hopefully not overheating, and hopefully playing some decent golf out there in the world. So that's the plan for today. It's going to be a quick episode, but thank you so much for being here. So get right into it. What video games have I been playing? So I mentioned I've been doing some YouTube streaming, and I think that's been helping me make some progress on some video games. So the first game I want to report back on this week that I've been playing is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So this is the game I vowed to complete. I've never completed a Zelda game. It's a monkey. It's a 1,000-pound gorilla on my back. And I've made some significant progress in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild this week. So I have completed not one, but 2 Divine Beasts. So I've completed the second Divine Beast. That was the one with the Rito, Va Meadow. And then I also completed the Divine Beast with the Gorons, Va Rudania. So I thought I was going to be here just to report one Divine Beast being taken down, and I was happy. But I ended up doing another stream, and I took down the Goron Divine Beast, Va Rudania. So I think that, as far as recommendation-wise, I think I would go with the Zora one first. I think I would go with Goron second and Rito. I think the Goron and Rito are pretty interchangeable, but I think the Goron boss fight and the dungeon before were a little bit easier. But I think those are both probably the two best ones to go for second. And then the third and final one I've heard through the recommendation grapevine is Divine Beast Va Naboris. Is the final one I need to take down at Gerudo Town. So my main mission right now in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is to complete the final Divine Beast and then also get the Master Sword. And then I think I'll be able to go take down Ganon. So I need to get some recommendations on how many hearts I need, what kind of equipment I need to go do this final fight, and exactly how to get the Master Sword. So I think it has to do with having 13 stars, I believe, is the thing I've heard, but I have not confirmed. But something I'm going to be getting into very soon. So I would love to be able to complete this game before Donkey Kong Bonanza on July 17th. So I have about a month to do so, and I think that seems kind of realistic. I think I'm pushing the 60-hour mark in this game, so I definitely have not been skimping on like side stuff or preparing a link for this moment. So we will see. I've been having a whole lot of fun with that game. I've been having some fun streaming it on YouTube. So if you want to check out some gameplay, go check it out. I've been working through my streaming kinks of trying to make it look okay with the setup I have. So, please bear with me through some of that. But you'll be able to see the game, hear me talk about it, and, get my thoughts on it. So please go check me out over there on the YouTube, playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I'm assuming I'm going to be playing some more of this in the upcoming week. Alright, so what else have I been playing? I've been playing some Mario Kart World on the Nintendo Switch 2. I've been loving this game. I think this one right now is tracking for Game of the Year for the Dep Lewis Show. I've had a lot of fun. I think I'm at the 20-hour mark. I have now completed all the races in the game in the Grand Prix, so I took down all the 150cc races, or finalized or finished them on stream the other day, so happy to report that. I've been actually playing a little bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, still trying to complete those Grand Prix over there since I've never done so, and that game has a million Grand Prix and Cups in it, so I've been having a lot of fun with the Mario Kart. Waluigi, Daisy, and Yoshi have been my main 3 characters so far. That's how it's been shaken out. I've been doing a lot of those three guys. I've been doing the standard kart. I've been doing some of the bike. I think the bike is the most fun to ride around, but I think I'm the best with the standard Kart. And I've been having a whole lot of fun with the Mario Kart world. So after completing the Grand Prix, the main thing I kind of want to do in there is just play online from time to time or play with some friends. So I think the mass rush of me playing Mario Kart World might be over, but this is a game I can have in my collection for a long time, pull out from time to time, and have a lot of fun with. So I plan to do some more online races, and I've been having a lot of fun with the Mario Kart World. Alright, so what else have I been playing? Those have been the main 2 games on my Nintendo Switch 2 that I've been playing. And I've also been playing something on my PlayStation 5, and that has been Persona 3 Reload. So I've made some progress here. I think I'm definitely farther than I've ever been. I started a file on Xbox when this game got released on Game Pass. So my first batch from the garden is only a couple days away. I think it's June 4th in the game is when my plants are ready to be harvested, and I think it's June 2nd, so I'm a couple days away in game time from seeing what the garden will bring to fruition. I think I'm on the 24th level of Tartarus. So I made some progress the other day. I got to a boss level and then dipped out. I love the music in this game. I had a really great time streaming this, so I could see myself doing that in the future too. I thought it was a fun one to talk over and talk about while playing. So please go check out my Persona 3 Reload stream if you'd like to. And I think it's just a really great game. I really like all the I just like all the different things it has you doing in the game, and then the music and the whole package and the style and the art style and everything going together and the characters. I think it just works really well. So I'm really into the Persona 3 Reload right now. I am sort of waiting on this to be announced for the Nintendo Switch 2. I would love for that to happen. And there was the announcement of Persona 4 Revival. I think it was last week or the week before. And now they've come out this week and said, hey, that's not going to be till 2026. And I think that is to be expected. I think a lot of the reaction I saw to that was, oh my gosh, that's forever. Why did they announce this? But 2026, in my opinion, is just right around the corner. We're about half a year away from there, and we'll be getting these releases. So I would say not to worry. So keeping it short and sweet today, that's everything I've been playing. Over here, I've been playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart World, Persona 3 Reload, and it's the year of no direction on the podcast, but the only direction I have is to complete the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I've been pretty happy with my progress recently, so I intend to keep that up. So thank you for listening to the first section of the show. That's everything I've been playing, and you're going to listen to some music right here, and please come back for the midsection after this. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 134. This is where I tell you about what is going on around the video game world that you need to know. So we had a direct that took place last week from Nintendo, and it was a specific direct to a video game, and that was the Donkey Kong Bananza Direct. So this took place on June 18th. It's around 17 minutes in length. If you'd like to go watch this now, you certainly can. But in this direct, they told us some more information about the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 game. And the main things I saw from this were Super Mario Odyssey's Pauline will be your sidekick character in the game. This younger version of Pauline was previously leaked by Nintendo, then quickly scrubbed from the internet. And then also, if you don't want some spoilers, listen away for about 10 seconds. Dum Dum Dum. Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong have been spotted in this game. So the Kongs are going to be out in full force. This game releases on June 17th, only on Nintendo Switch 2 for $69.99 US. I didn't watch too much of this direct because I'm already 110% sold on this video game. But if you would like to see some gameplay and possibly sell yourself on getting extremely hyped for a Switch 2 and for this video game, then please go watch that direct. I think the Pauline stuff looks really cool. I've been hearing, I still think it's not clear who developed this game, but a lot of people are saying some offshoot of the Mario Odyssey team. People keep comparing a lot of things in the world that look like it or act like it or feel like it, and I think that is going to be amazing. I think that's a perfect combination of things, having Donkey Kong in the Mario Odyssey-ish world, doing some 3D things in his own form or fashion. I think it's going to be extremely fun. I hope it's going to be a fresh take on some platforming and I guess a fresh take on some Donkey Kong, and maybe revitalizing the DK64 in the way that everyone in the world would like to. I guess a lot of people thought that was just a collectathon and not enough to do or a little too complicated. I really enjoyed that game back in the day, so that's why I'm even more excited for this one. So Donkey Kong Bonanza had a direct last week, and that game is going to release on July 17th, 2025. June 17th was wishful thinking. We'd be playing it right now. So Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct is out there if you'd like to go watch that. Okay, so there was a release this week, and this was something that I think was announced in a Nintendo Direct back in the day, maybe about a year ago. And this game is officially released, something I think looks cool, and it's called Rematch. So this released on June 19th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. It's $29.99 US dollars. The developer and publisher is Slow Clap, and in this game you control one player on your team and compete in fast-paced 5 vs 5 matches from an immersive third-person perspective. Team up with your friends and join the action. Third-person camera, tackle, dribble, aim, and shoot. Dive into the heart of the action from an immersive viewpoint. One player control, observe the action, position yourself, execute perfectly. Every decision matters, and relying on your teammates is essential to prevail. Skill-based gameplay in a level playing field with no player stats. Victory is only about player skill and tactical coordination. So this is the game I kind of compared to if Rocket League is soccer with cars, this is soccer with humans. So it's basically just think Rocket League with people. And I know that's a really stupid comparison because this game is just soccer, but you're playing one of 5 people on the field, and you have your own individual position. So it does seem a little bit like Rocket League to me in that sense of matching up with a team of people. You're playing your own role, and you have to work together to win the game and hopefully have them challenge you to a rematch. So I think it looks pretty cool. I think the art style of it's neat. I like the concept. I am a huge Rocket League fan, so I think something actually back into the soccer side of things is a smart move to get that demographic, which is a huge demographic. So this game looks really cool. I thought this was going to be free to play, was my original thinking, but that is not true. But it looks like a quality game, so $29.99 US dollars is the price point, and Rematch is available now. So really running through this stuff pretty quickly today, but I did prepare a podcast with some information, so I want to make sure that I give you the good video game information that you need out there in the world. So the video game Hades 2, which is out now currently in early access. It's been in early access for about a year, I guess a little over a year, May 6, 2024. And Hades 2 now has the Unseen update, which is available now. So the update features an all-new hidden aspect for each of the nocturnal arms, a unique new variation of each Guardian encounter, and plenty of new story events, artwork, music, and more. So this game is in early access right now, Hades 2. It's currently on sale if you're looking for it. I checked yesterday, so 10% off on Steam currently for $26.99 US dollars, but it's regularly $29.99 US dollars. And this is developed and published by Supergiant Games. The back of the box talk is battle beyond the underworld, using dark sorcery to take on the Titan of Time, and this bewitching sequel to the award-winning roguelike dungeon crawler. So I had a lot of fun with Hades 1. I know a lot of people had it as like game of the year. I don't think I played enough of it for me to tout it as game of the year, but I'm pretty excited for Hades 2. I've been holding out to play this game on another platform. It was on Windows PC side of things. I think it came to Mac PC side of things, but I just don't think my Mac laptop can run this game quite properly. So I am waiting for this game to come out on the Switch, and more specifically the Switch 2, because I think that is exactly where I want to play Hades 2. Alright, so Hades 2, the Unseen update, is available now if you're playing on early access on the PC. So just a couple more things to tell you about this week. Just want to put this game in your mind. I think we've talked about this one before a couple times, but Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is actually going to release in the upcoming week. So I wanted to highlight that. It releases on June 26, 2025 for PlayStation 5. Embark on an inspiring mission of human connection beyond the UCA. Sam with companions by his side, sets out on a new journey to save humanity from extinction. Join them as they traverse a world beset by otherworldly enemies, obstacles, and a haunting question: should we have connected? Step by step, legendary game creator Hideo Kojima changes the world once again. They are touting a unique and realistic world evolved in more flexible action, a deep and captivating story, and a social strand system. So this one's definitely building some hype for me. I've never played Death Stranding 1. I am a Hideo Kojima fan from Metal Gear, and this is one of the biggest releases of the year. So I could see myself getting caught up in the hype and trying this out. I've had some aversion to this game for a few different reasons. Some kind of like the horror stuff, and maybe just the unclear nature of what you're doing in the video game. A lot of people call it a walking sim, but I think it's just a unique thing and probably something I need to try for myself at some point. And I think I might potentially just skip over Death Stranding 1 and move on to this one. And we will see. So this comes out in the upcoming week, so I just want to make you aware of that. I think it's going to be the talk of the town, and I hope it's going to be a really cool video game because I could see myself being swayed to go give it a shot. So that is Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, releases in the upcoming week on June 26, 2025. Alright, another video game. This is one I don't know, maybe could have predicted this one. Marathon, the video game being created by Bungie, has been indefinitely delayed. So this was going to release on Steam, PS5, Xbox Series X and S on September 23rd, 2025, but it has now been delayed. So this is from the creators of Halo and Destiny. In Marathon, you are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary scouring the remains of a lost colony for fortune and power. Team up in crews of 3 as you battle rival runner teams and hostile security forces for weapons and upgrades. Survive, and everything you've scavenged is yours to keep for future runs on Tau Ceti 4, or if you're brave enough, a journey to the derelict ship that hangs above. So I think everything in this game sounds cool until you just say, hey, this is just a multiplayer game. This game had some type of story and multiplayer alongside of it. I would be more inclined to try it out, but a lot of people are trying out these multiplayer things, and I don't really know if they have the full gusto to go along with it. So I think that's a little bit of the problem here too with Marathon, or not the full gusto. I just don't think people can play every multiplayer shooter in the world, and I think these companies focusing too much on delivering these has been a grave error. And I think Marathon is seeing this. I think my take on Marathon is, I don't know if this game is going to see the light of day. I think it's too risky. I think it's too dangerous at this point. They're developing it. I think when they initially announced it, it was met with some skepticism, and I think that's got to be really hard to work towards. So, this game is being created by Bungie. Bungie has to have some of the same people around, but I mean, it's not going to be the same teams that created Halo and Destiny. It's been a long time since then, so I think that is hard to expect. But you would still think there's some pretty good pedigree there around Bungie. I think they can make a good shooter, but I think just making a good shooter these days is not enough. I think people want more. I think people are pretty happy with the shooters that they do currently have, so I think it's really hard to get them off that spot, and I think that's just the reality that we're working in. So I think this is a tough time because games take a while to be developed, but I think some of these live service games now are coming into a world where people are pushing back on them a little bit, or people aren't just able to play this mass variety of multiplayer games at this point in time, it seems like. So that's my take on that. Marathon has been indefinitely delayed, and I gotta say that's not too shocking. But I feel for those people over there working on it, and anyone involved. It's got to be pretty tough having your game delayed and having that uncertainty over it. All right, a couple more things to talk about. The last two things are just kind of bigger console talking points. Xbox had some announcements this week with AMD. So Xbox and AMD are partnering to advance the next generation of gaming together. So this week, Xbox announced it is actively building its next generation lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. As part of this, Xbox unveiled that it has entered into a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including future first-party consoles and cloud. This work is part of Xbox's commitment to deliver an enduring gaming platform that enables you to play across devices in entirely new ways with an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device. So I think that sounds pretty interesting. AMD, the high-performance and adaptive computing leader, powering the products and services that help the world's most important challenges. Our technologies advance the future of the data center, embedded gaming, and PC markets. So this is talk from AMD explaining who they are. Founded in 1969 as a Silicon Valley startup, the AMD journey began with dozens of employees who were passionate about creating leading-edge semiconductor products. AMD has grown into a global company setting the standard for modern computing with many important industry first and major technological achievements along the way. So Xbox giving us some insight into the next generation of gaming. It seems like there are going to be multiple devices. It seems like you're going to be able to have other storefronts on this Xbox in the future. And it basically sounds like it's going to be a custom kind of gaming PC with Xbox being the focus on it, or maybe being like half the focus. So I don't know. I'm someone who sold my Xbox Series X sort of recently. I haven't really missed it too much. I don't know if I am playing too many. Between the Switch 2, I think that's been satisfying a lot of my gaming needs. So I don't know if I need to have the Xbox and PlayStation at this point. But I think this is a pretty cool argument. I like the idea of having the different storefronts on there, being able to play my Steam library would be pretty cool. As I have just kind of a small Steam library of kind of more indie games that I've been able to pick up and play on my laptops over the year. But it would be cool to be able to have that available to me. And I don't know. I think their Xbox console scenario is in a little bit of a strange spot. And this wasn't like an exciting announcement. It was just something more interesting to follow along with me. So this wasn't something like, oh yeah, hooray, they're partnering with ADM. I think this is something like a kind of a wait and see how they're going to handle this, and really a wait and see on what the next generation is going to be for both of these consoles. because I kind of feel like we've barely scratched the surface with this current gen, and I think they're just going to move along without us, just kind of move into a pattern of, kind of the way we all talk about phones, that they're going to upgrade more often than you really want to do. So that's kind of my take on it. But Xbox and AMD have partnered up to advance the next generation of gaming together, is what they're saying. And the last little bit I want to talk about is the PlayStation 6 out there. There's been some talk out there. I think the Sony Interactive CEO and president, Hideaki Nishino says the future platform is top of mind. So in a recent investor-focused interview that was published on Sony's corporate website. So I think a lot of people were in a huff over this, and I think maybe wrongfully so. I mean, there has to be the internal development of the PS6 has to be going on at this point. The console's been out, the PS5 has been out for 5 years. You would think they were working on some type of development or a little bit of a skeleton development or whatever even before that. So that has to be somewhere in the process of going on. I think, I don't know, I guess you don't want to mention it, but saying the future platform is probably top of mind is how you're going to talk to investors. And like I say, it does seem like they're moving on without us with these things. So whether you like it or not, it seems like they're moving forward with these consoles and not really having the games to support it like we have in the past, or be able to say, hey, this is from the PS5 generation. It's just going to be kind of murky. I feel like these days it's going to be like, was that an Xbox One? Was that an Xbox Series X? Was that one right before? Like one right after? Like it's going to be a little bit murky of which game these consoles came out on, and I think that's a little bit intentional by these companies of trying to sell us on these more continual upgrades than the one-time sell. So that's definitely, I just need thinking about it now. They're trying to get, more transactions from us, the better, according to them. So I think some of that stuff is not okay. I wouldn't be ready for one of these new consoles besides just being someone who loves video games and want to have one. But I really think it would be kind of crazy to be rolling one of these out at this point. I think the Pro is even a little bit crazy. I don't think that's really caught on like wildfire, and it's just interesting to note. So, that's what you're going to get here on the Dep Lewis Show each week. Going to be talking about all the video game news, keeping you up to date, and giving you some of my thoughts. And, that's everything I have for you today on this kind of a quick episode of Dep Lewis Show. So that was the midsection. That was all the video game news I have for you. Donkey Kong Bonanza had a direct. Rematch is available now. Hades 2 has a new update. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach comes out in the upcoming week. Marathon's been indefinitely delayed. Xbox and AMD are partnering on the next console, and PlayStation 6 is at the top. It's top of mind for the PlayStation brass and executives and CEOs. I guess a lot of people there working in the company. So that's all the video game news I have for you this week. We're going to take one final break. We have one more section of the show that's not video game related. It's the Miscellaneous Talk section. So please take a quick break, listen to this music, and come back for the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 134, after this. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 134. This is the Miscellaneous Talk section where I can talk about anything I want to outside of the video game world. So I want to get into the worldwide world of sports as always and tell you what is going on with my favorite teams. And there is only one of my teams right now currently playing, so we'll start with the ones not playing. The Carolina Panthers in the NFL, my favorite team. They're in the offseason right now. The only dates to track for them are the preseason begins on August 8th, 2025, and the regular season will begin on September 7th, 2025 at Jacksonville at 1 p.m. For the NBA, my two favorite teams there. I'm a halfway fan of the Charlotte Hornets. That's just the offseason for them. And my favorite NBA team, the Atlanta Hawks, it's the offseason for them as well. We have one final game to end the NBA season coming up. That is going to be Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. I got to say, I'm cheering for the Pacers, but I think the Thunder are going to win. And that is going to be all she wrote for the NBA season. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what the Hawks are going to do in the offseason mostly. And hopefully they can be a little more competitive next year and actually be a little bit of a serious, I can't anticipate them being a serious contender for the title, but being a serious contender for the playoffs. I think they were just, they were on the periphery this year. I don't really think they deserve to be in there from their season, but I'd just like them to be more of a steady playoff team, be in the mix, and we can see with Indiana, they were getting to the finals. So I think the East is wide open, and the Hawks need to try to take advantage if they are able to. All right, but the one sport that is going on right now, my favorite sport and my favorite team in the universe, the Atlanta Braves, everything's been going on with them since last week. So last week they played Colorado, the Rockies, after the podcast, and they took a loss 1-10, so pretty embarrassing. They were doing good with the Rockies up until then, but they flamed out last Sunday. And then the Braves had an off day on this past Monday, and then Tuesday they were in Atlanta versus the Mets to start a series. So Tuesday versus the Mets, the Braves won 5-4 in extras. Wednesday versus the Mets, the Braves won 5-0. So very, very beautiful things. And then Thursday versus the Mets, the Braves won 7-1. So can't ask for more. One of my least favorite teams in the universe is the Mets, and it is always a nice day when the Braves take down the Mets. On Friday at Miami, the Braves lost 2-6. The Braves had the 20-year-old starter for the Braves this game, Didier Fuentes. So shout out to him for getting out there on the mound. He looked like he had some pretty good stuff. Tough order for a 20-year-old to go in there and start an MLB game for his first time. He's the Braves' number 10 overall prospect, and I hope we'll be seeing more of him and seeing his development in time. And hopefully he'll be, a Cy Young winning pitcher for the Braves one day. That'd be very nice. But started off there on Friday. The Braves lost 2-6. Saturday against Miami last night, the Marlins. The Braves won 7-0. And today the Braves are going to play Miami once again. I think that game's at 1 o'clock, so I will be... I'm trying to think. I'm playing golf today, so I will be... What time is our tee time? Yep, I'll be golfing right around game time. So hopefully the Braves win one without me, and hopefully I will not be getting sunburned out here in the world. And then next week, the Braves will be playing at the Mets again, or they're going to be playing the Mets again. So four times against the Mets to start the week up there in New York, and then 3 against Philly and Atlanta. So a whole week of divisional games. I think that's really cool, very important. I think the Braves need to get rolling this week. This would be a perfect week to do so and take down the Mets a bunch of times and then see where they stand against the Phillies. So 7 potential wins this week for the Braves against the division, and I would love for them to get all 7 of them. So that's my hope. And go Braves today. I'll be missing watching you, but I'll be hopefully having fun out there in the world. So some overall MLB news. There was a big trade that took place last week. Rafael Devers, there's been a little bit of drama going on with him and the Red Sox this year, and he has officially been traded. So the Giants acquired 3-time All-Star Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. Boston received left-handed starter Kyle Harrison, right-hander Jordan Hicks, outfield prospect James Tibbs III, and rookie league right-hander Jose Bello. The Giants will cover the remainder of Devers' contract, which runs through 2033, and will pay him more than $250 million. And Devers is the 28-year-old from the Dominican Republic. I think they're unsure on the Giants if he's going to play. I think if he's going to DH or first base long term. They have Matt Chapman at third. That's Devers' normal position. And Matt Chapman, they just paid a huge bag of money. He's been on the IL for, I think, a 10 or 15-day stint, but he's had a great season so far, and that will be his position when he comes back. So I think Devers is a great player. I think there was some weird stuff going on with the Red Sox with him, between him and the organization. So I think seeing him in a new franchise is cool. I think he's a fun player to watch, and I think the Giant fans should be extremely happy they were able to snag him from the Red Sox. And I got to say, I'm glad not to be a Red Sox fan. I know the Braves don't always sign or pay their players, but the Red Sox have traded away some of their really high-level guys that have gone on to have success, like Mookie, and that's got to be hard to watch. Or it is hard to watch. I know how that feels a little bit, but I think the Red Sox have had some pretty tough ones over the last couple of years. So, shout out to Devers. I think he's probably happy over there on the West Coast now and to get a new look. And I think the Giants are a pretty good team. So, go Rafael Devers. And that is everything I have for you this week on this kind of quick episode of Dep Lewis Show. That's all the sports talk I have for you. We talked about the Carolina Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets, the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Braves, and some overall MLB news. And that really is going to wrap up the entire show today. So I want to reiterate some promotional talk from the beginning. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. Find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. YouTube is also a great place to watch me play some games live or come check out the videos later. I'd say that's one of the best places to follow me currently. But if you would like to support the show even further than just listening, patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show is available. If you'd like to subscribe monthly, also Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you would like to support the show. So just thank you so much for listening. I have so much fun doing this each week. I thought about taking the week off, but I prepared the podcast during the week like normal. I didn't really prepare all the best time for recording it today, but I was able to get it out. I was able to tell you all the information I wanted to, and I will be back next week as always. So, don't miss me too much. Thank you for listening to this today. I hope you have a wonderful week out there in the world, whatever you're doing. I hope you play some video games. I hope you have some fun. I hope you eat something good. I hope you get to see a cute dog. I hope you get to see your friends and family. I hope you get a day off work. I hope you win the lottery. I hope you get a Switch 2. I hope you get I think I already said get a new video game, but, I hope you have a wonderful week out there in the world. I'll be back next time for another episode of Dep Lewis Show, and I will see you then. Goodbye.